So, good morning everyone.
Morning.
Can I see some faces nearby here? I know that I am a kind of scaring personally or whatever, but given that I don't have a proper English accent and my voice sometimes is a little bit low, so please come closer, otherwise I'm going to move over there in the video. So, about this, I think it's been a very busy time for the art workshop. Going over, being over for a few days over the New Year, the solar calendar New Year, and also we had yesterday a wonderful event by the new, I don't know how to call it, new Kingdom singers. Or how do you know? And to Ali, what is Ali? Eli and Vivi in the art workshop. I was trying to them a chance to give them also thanks for the after the trouble happened in West Virginia. Almost happened. So anyway, thanks everybody. I guess everybody's kind of tired and a lot of things that have been happening, and perhaps you haven't had the time to do your New Year resolution yet, New Year goals, but at least take time to do so as soon as possible. And I think you might all feel a little bit tired. So sometimes when we hear some misadventure from somebody else, then we might feel a little better, or we might try. So I'll tell you about a little misadventure that happened yesterday afternoon. So basically, I had a very clear plan, which I'm trying to do as a resolution of New Year. I'm trying to have a clear plan what to do and, exactly laid out and everything. It's just that sometimes plan don't work for whatever reason. I'm still praying on the reason for it, but basically what happened is that we were driving. We had to go a certain place to pick up something, and then soon after that we had to drive another place to visit some families. So that was very clear, very simple plan. You drive there, you pick up your things, and then you go next and you meet the people. And then we come here for the musical evening. That's fine, fantastic, right? Okay, besides the musical evening, none of the rest happened because we ended up in a parking place. Actually ended up in a parking place. So basically, we arrived to this town, and so I was looking for a place to turn around because I realized we missed a turn. I was just looking for a place to turn around, or even just to park, because it was a walking away distance where we had to go. And Bray. So, okay, I didn't want to appear in the news the next day. I'll tell you why now. So basically, I was driving, so okay, the best way, turn around. I saw just on the right side, a gate wide open, very nice, empty spaces, there was just a car parked inside there. And I said, well, maybe that's a good place. So I just drove in. I didn't think about it. So I just drove in. So I'm moving the car, I maneuver to turn around and whatever. As I turn around, I see the gate closed. So basically, we were stuck inside because that's I realized later that is actually the private parking of the bank, which of course on Saturday is closed, and there's nobody around. So basically I tried to, well, what can we do? Like, you can fly the car. There is no door out unless we get over the fence or whatever. So basically we were stuck inside with no key, no numbers. We tried few numbers, but obviously they don't work. We weren't that lucky. So basically we were stuck inside there. And they were not so, suddenly, as a miracle, suddenly people seemed to have disappeared. There was nobody around, just a few cars passing by very quick, so you couldn't really. So I walked to the building, at the back of the building, but realized later it was a bank. So
Which bank?
Go up there.
Which bank?
I would not have been here for the musical evening.
Which bank?
AIB. Anyway, to make a long story short, and I'll bring the picture this time again. Okay, so I walked around behind the building. Of course, it was a little courtyard, and there were all these huge CCTV cameras. But there must be somebody there. There are a couple of bells and
Security, yeah.
beside the keypad. Also, there was a bell. So I was ringing the bell on the at the back of the building. Nothing happened. Of course, there was nobody around. And then I heard a car. Someone turning on a car. So I ran there. It was just I could see a small gate somewhere, and the guy said, "Hey!" And this guy looked at me and said, "What the heck are you doing there?" So, well, you know, we got in and we cannot go out. I said, "Yeah, but how did you get in?" "Well, the door was, the gate was open." "What?" Anyway, it was kind of hard to explain, but for some reason. So I explained what happened, and this guy, I begged this guy, "Can you please drive down to the police station, because he didn't have the number. Can you please drive to the police station and tell them to come over and give us a hand?" I mean, I wouldn't really like to wait until the Monday morning till the bank is open again to get out of the party. So basically, then anyway, time passed, nobody calls. Then, thanks God, I had my phone, which I could connect to internet. I suddenly, thank God at least, I changed my phone, and that one I could connect to internet. I found the police station number. I called them up, and this guy was, I think this guy was saying, "This guy's drunk." This guy, I don't know what he's talking about. Well, I tried to explain where I was. There was I told you, we were just beside the town hall, and you know, everything. They just couldn't understand. I said, "Yeah, okay, we'll look around. We'll try to find out." As if to say, "Okay, you know, we don't believe you," something like that. So by that time, about 1 hour and something like, or more than 1 hour passed by, and we were still stuck inside. And you know, we were trying. Then the police. I called again the police station, and I explained again what happened. And he said, this guy said, "Well, you know, look if there's a telephone number." I said, "Where do I look for a telephone number?" "There's nothing here." I said, "Well, there must be something on the front. I said, "How the heck I'm going to the front if I can't get out of here?" And anyway, all this kind of this kind of strange things happening. So finally, Masami was there, and the car passed by. And I don't know how she stopped or whatever. Anyway, this guy probably saw an Oriental woman behind the gates of this car park, and he must have thought, "What's going on?" So kindly, this guy stopped the car and came and we explained what happened. Of course, he couldn't believe what was happening. I said, "Anyway, it's okay. I'll stay, hang around and try to help you out and see what happens." So he tried to call the guard and everything and everything else. Anyway, so we'll try everything. Then the guard talked to this guy and said, "Well, why don't you take your car?" He had a Mercedes, 2010 or something. "Why don't you take your car and just push the gate?" I said, "What? The gate open? Are you crazy?" This is like you're going to be arrested for destroying the gate and violation of property, whatever.
Attempted bank robbery.
Bank robbery. So anyway, then at the end, finally, the police came. There were two guys, and they're trying to find out where was the number of the security and whatever. So after about 10 or 15 minutes were there, so we finally end up, we suddenly saw a couple, and this couple was the same couple who was standing there before at the gate when we arrived. I saw the couple, but I didn't think about anything like. Basically, they just been to a wedding. It was just happening on the other side of the road. They just been to a wedding, and the lady was one employee of the bank, and she was the one who parked the car inside. And because she was standing right by the sensor when I arrived, she was standing just right by the sensor. The gate couldn't close, and because the gate was closed for open for a while, and then I think about it, like I just going to turn around and go out, like so by the time we get in, she moved and the gate closed. So that's how we got trapped into it. Anyway, the finally she came and she was kind of wondering, "What's going on? What's going on with this?" Sitting here for 2.5 hours now. We would like to get out of here. Anyway, finally she came. We had the key, opened the door, and we just left. And everything. It was a happy ending. Finally, we were here yesterday. So, but anyway, that makes me feel a little better today. That's what happened to us.
You didn't get clamped anyway.
No, I didn't get clamped. No, that's good. Yeah. Well, the guys were lost too what to do, because obviously they couldn't break in. They couldn't, and it was very hard to find anyone from the bank to get this gate open. So Anyway, so that's what happened. Anyway, we have received the grace after a couple of hours. Somebody opened the gate and we out. So, anyway, today the sermon is Unending Grace, and it is connected with the Foundation Day blessing that is coming. You know, today we're going to have also some meeting after the service to discuss a few things about that as a preparation. And I was very inspired to read these words from Ezekiel, from the Old Testament. I think this guy was inspired to, he was seeing the future, 3,000 years later. He said, I will give you a new heart and put in you a new spirit. Put in you a new spirit. I will remove you from your heart a heart of stone. I mean, I remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh, or obviously a heart of feelings, or a heart of sentiment, a heart of love. And I will pour my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. And then you will live in the land that I gave to your ancestors. So who was the land? Which land was given to the ancestors? Which are the ancestors? Adam and Eve, of course, were the ancestors, and the land was given was the whole earth. So he was giving us again the Garden of Eden, again the Garden of Eden to all of us. And you will be my people, and I'll be your God. So that's how it should have been originally. God will need God and the proper, tradition of God and the true family. So this is the beginning, and the Foundation Day blessing this time is very similar to this, and it's very much related to this point because it is a blessing that we have to understand. Father is trying to give before. It's a blessing Father is giving to us as if we are in the same condition, in the same situation, in the Garden of Eden before the fall. Now, this is, I don't know what it is to you, but for me it's huge. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. And I'm trying to really deeply think and reflect about this because it has a huge implication on my life. So, if you talk about grace, and that's why it's connected to grace, we are going to receive an incredible grace this time because actually, as originally we thought originally that the blessing was given only to the blessed couple who fulfilled all the conditions. Of course, the conditions are still there; they're not changed. The conditions are still valid. But actually, as we know, as I mentioned last week, everyone can receive the Foundation Day blessing. Anyone who wants to receive, everyone should receive the Foundation Day blessing. Anyone who's been blessed, divorced, whatever happened, first, second generation, everyone should receive the Foundation Day blessing. It's a ceremony where there is an incredible forgiveness for anything. And to me, this is the real grace that we're going to receive. Because, if you look at the Christian concept of grace, it is actually quite interesting that Christians have of course they have their own understanding of grace, but the main concept of grace is that basically, for whatever reason, God has chosen you to give you something, and we are receiving it. We don't deserve it, we didn't work for it, and we're not worthy of it, whatever, but somehow God has picked us up, or picked some of us, because not everybody has received the grace yet, and He's giving us this great blessing by believing in Jesus, right? To me, it's a little bit narrow, this concept of grace, to be honest. And also, there's another theological stream, which I don't think is a lot, maybe it's not very widespread, but it's called, sorry, I have to read it. It's antinomianism. Antinomianism, okay, that's the name of this part. Which basically say, okay, God has picked you up, He's chosen you, you can be forgiven, you can be saved, and who cares what you do? You don't need to live a holy life, which in some ways sounds quite good. I don't have to do anything really. I just live my life whatever the way I like it, and then anyway, I'm going to be saved because God has given me the favor of the grace. Fantastic, I like that. About indemnity. But of course we know it doesn't work like that, so somehow the concept of grace, and when we pray, like what is, I feel that this Foundation Day is an incredible grace, it's an incredible gift that we receive from God. But what does it actually mean? I mean, for me, the grace that we actually receive is that God has not given up on us. I think this is the grace, the best grace that God has given us, that God hasn't given up on us. And the other thing is that God, as soon as the original plan failed, God immediately started the second plan to bring us back to the original plan. That's for me is a grace. That God, not out of favoritism, not because you just want the, oh, you know, I have a couple of kids, okay, I like this kid, I want to give them the grace, I want to give them the salvation, but actually that everyone can receive the blessing, everyone can actually go back to the path of restoration, and this is out of the heart of love as a parent that God has, and that's the only way that I can feel the grace that God is giving us. I don't think it's just a gift because we deserve it or whatever. No, it's nothing about deserve, not deserve, worthy, being unworthy, whatever. It's just simply because God loves us. Because of God, we are His children. And that's the only way that we can actually be connected to the grace. And, you know, and it's the only way that we can actually receive something from God when we actually open the heart to that. So, and the other thing is that God has, throughout the history of restoration, the grace that we have is that God actually went down to the lowest place, from the top, He went to the lowest place, as servant to servant, and start to serve mankind, start to pave the way for mankind to be restored. So these are two great things. I prayed, I was saying, what is this grace all about and everything? And that's what I felt. I felt the two things. God became the servant to servant. From independence, He became the servant to servant, went down to the bottom, and He's trying to raise us up. He had to go below us to push us up. He had to go below us to make us aware of who we are and what we are, what is the course of our life. And the second is that God has changed immediately the plan. He hasn't been there sitting down like sometimes we make a plan and we think, okay, no, maybe I should do like this, maybe I should do like that. No, God is very clear mind, because God is God of love. And this God of love, He just wants to get us back, get us His children back. There's no other way. And so immediately started this course of restoration. So it's the only way I can feel. This is the grace that I feel from God. This is the grace that I feel that true parents have brought us the heart of God